We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
no, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
That would be me.
Woo! Cutting it close tonight, man. Cutting it close. Boy and I decided to hop on the 8 a.m. Rocket League tournament, which was great. But we made the semifinals, and now I'm trying to catch up because we just literally about a minute before I hit go live lost our last match. So working on that. And with all of that, we got Malcolm. What's the nickname this week? We got one?
Nah, you sprung it on me.
Oh,
Give him Malcolm Tiger Woods Jr. King.
he does look like Tiger right
come
now.
through in the clutch. Come through in the clutch. You know, how we doing, fools?
We doing all right. Hey, I'm going to ask y'all to take this over for a minute, and I will be right back. I just need to make sure the little guy gets to bed, all right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
handle your business.
Clifford, what's going on? What we talking about today?
I don't know, man. I don't even know. Mike had the topic. He was talking about y'all was going to talk WrestleMania, but he said he's coming back, and I can't contribute to that because
Right.
I don't know nothing about it.
Right, and that's really, of course, why I decided to hop on too, because I know he mentioned wanting to talk about that, and I figured, have somebody to kind of go along with him on it. So I was like, okay.
Right. Yeah. Nah, I mean,
Let's talk about what whatever whenever you feel like what's been happening or something you caught or seen, whatever you feel like maybe you got.
I don't know, man. Let me see if anything pops up.
Well, I got a little something, if that's cool.
Of course.
Will Smith gets a 10-year ban from the Oscars.
Yeah, I saw that.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I really don't. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't even know if that's a regular punishment,
Right. I don't know what scale does that fall on.
Like these are reindeer games we're talking about. And we ain't reindeer, so
Right.
we don't know what the rules
magnitude.
are. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is 10 years like the death sentence in the celebrity world or something like
that? It would have to be for Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith might be the kind of actor that actually comes more into himself the older he gets.
If he's got any sense left in him.
Right.
But he's already starting to take
he did about 5-10 years ago. He started shifting from like the action comedy stuff over to like more dramatic stuff.
Right. And that might be good for him the older he gets.
But does Hollywood blackball him?
From this incident?
I don't think I don't think Hollywood does.
Because
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, Mike. No, I was gonna say. I mean, there's plenty of actors and actresses that have been blackballed for other reasons that were considered less severe than Will Smith.
I mean, I think that's a fair call out. I think the difference is we know Will Smith ain't afraid to just do it himself, right? Like, how many movies has he basically funded and produced for Jaden at this point?
Yeah, I never thought about from that perspective. I'm just thinking, like, I don't see Hollywood being able to blackball him because he's still a dollar bill.
True. Although I will say, and there's been a lot of talk about this in the entertainment space for a while now, like, we are past the point of, we are almost like in the post movie star era. And what I mean by that is movie stars aren't the draw they used to be, right? Like, you used to be able to say, oh, if, Tom Hanks is in this movie, it's going to make it's going to make $500 million. If Tom Cruise is in this movie, it's going to make $500 million. There aren't actors like that anymore. The only one that's like that right now, and Cliff's going to be mad when I say this, is The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
The Rock
is the only one. The Rock is the only one where people will go see the movie no matter what it is if he's in it.
And I think he probably
appeal.
I think he only has like 2 or 3 left in him.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, man, it's that rotation. Like,
it's
just
Dwayne,
like
dude.
Kevin Hart had his boom for a second. And after, it doesn't matter the caliber of movie you make. After a while, people get sick of seeing you.
Well, they might
sick
just
of
not
seeing
see
your
him.
face.
They might not see him. They might just hear him, right? Because, for example, The Rock has been known to do a lot of kids movies. Where
And that may that listen,
you know what I mean? So he could shift at any time and still be good, whether he's on screen or not. I feel like.
No, I agree with that. He's definitely got like that voice actor background. I mean, shit. You're welcome.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, Kevin did that.
Kevin did I hate to admit this.
He did Pets.
Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
I actually bought, my kids liked the movie, but I bought it because I liked it.
I took Karma to go see it. What was he, the rabbit or something?
Yeah, he was funny as hell.
Body shot.
Yeah, he was.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, after a while, you gotta fall back. The actors that stick around long term, they make you wait a while before they drop something else.
Jim Carrey, which I know you don't like Jim Carrey's acting too much, but Jim Carrey seems to do that. Like, he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, any of the ones that have found the code in the algorithm seem to do that. Your Denzels, you don't see Denzel dropping 3 movies a year.
Adam Sandler, he'll drop like maybe like a little something, but he don't drop,
But the good thing about Adam Sandler is he has that production company, so he can drop movies from other people that don't have anything to do with him that still have something to do with him.
Well, that's the whole thing with Happy Madison and all that. Like, it was made to like give his buddies something to do. Like, honestly, that's the dream, right? I want Adam Sandler. I want to, if I were to make it, I would do exactly what Adam Sandler did. Here's a production company. Here's the entertainment. And guess what? I get to hang out with my 7 or 8 best friends all the time. Now, I don't have 7 or 8. Like, I have like 4. So, Cliff, Malcolm, welcome to the club.
I made it. Thank you.
Yes. Nobody wants Malcolm as a friend.
That's true.
Man.
I'm playing.
Damn.
I didn't say I wanted him. I just said that's where I'm at in my life.
Up the right. Hard out here. Nigga. That's my life lately.
Listen, it's been a tough one for everybody.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you both. Just kind of going back to the whole Will Smith thing. I mean, he's back to what you kind of said, Cliff. He's a dollar bill, but is he still a dollar bill? Like, is his value still the same?
No, his value is not the same, but he's still a dollar bill. He's still Will Smith, right? So, like, when I think of it, I think of The Rock, right? The Rock is your $100 bill. That's the bill everybody wants to pull out their wallet.
Right.
Right now, I can't even think who your 50 would be. Your 50 might be Chris Helmsworth or whatever, because they seem to put him in all the Marvel. right, one of them.
I
But I feel like Will falls in the
$20.
not even. I was thinking more 10,
Yeah.
5-ish. And half of that comes from generation, right? Because like you said, the younger generation doesn't place value on movie stars.
Right.
Because they didn't have any really.
Right.
They had the leftover that was still coming through the class from our generation.
They did. And I mean, I don't know. Like, I would put Will Smith above maybe some of the female actresses that I like. I'll enjoy seeing their movie, or if they have a TV show or a series, like Anna Kendrick or Jennifer Lawrence, when she gives a fuck what she's doing, like actresses like that. I would still put Will Smith above folks like that. Like those actresses, like I have to see what the concept is and what the movie is. But like Will Smith, I'm probably still willing to give a movie a shot just because it's Will Smith.
And that's why I feel like he still has, I'd have to give him the 10, right? Because he has the culture on his side.
He does.
From what he did as a child. And the youngins don't know it. They just know that he's respected by the rest. So they're like,
here's the thing though. Like you say that, and then I almost put Fresh Prince in the same category. Actually, I do. I'll put it in the same category as like a Full House, where just because the younger generation wasn't around for it, it's in syndication like a motherfucker.
Right.
Like you can turn on the TV any given day and you can find Full House or Fresh Prince.
Martin too. I see Martin on the line.
So that's where I'm like, you're right in the sense of he's not in the the zeitgeist, but like the same way our generation grew up with like Golden Girls being so popular with our generation.
That's my shit.
Because it was in syndication. Like,
right.
I know Murder, She Wrote because it was in syndication. Like, I mean, Cheers was still going on a little bit when we were growing up, but my dad was a big fan, and like if there was nothing else on TV, he'd pop that on.
Right.
Like, because it was in syndication.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, and I honestly, Big Bang Theory is going to be like that too, because.
But how much do we know what's the name? What's his name from Cheers? He was the doctor.
I can look up the cast.
Are you talking about Niles, who ended up going on with like Frasier and all that, or are you talking Frasier?
Oh no, I forgot all about him. No, I was thinking of the one dude, funny looking dude, the tall dude.
I can't remember.
Ted Danson.
Danson.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be tall and funny looking.
Yeah, Ted Danson. He was from Cheers, and he went and played the doctor.
Oh, Woody Harrelson's in that? I might have to watch it.
You never seen Cheers before?
I have not.
Yeah, that was probably right after your.
I seen Happy Days though. I loved Happy Days.
Happy Days is all right. Happy Days is all right.
I don't know why I like that show.
Cheers was just a show about a bunch of drunk motherfuckers in a bar.
Yep.
Oh, for real?
They met up at the bar and they got drunk and talked shit.
There's 11 seasons.
Oh, Cheers been on forever.
It did.
Came out in 1982.
Well, didn't it end with them like closing the bar for the last time?
Mm-hmm. I remember that episode.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I might have to watch that.
Yeah, it's all right. But I don't know if I understand what you're saying, and it's a great argument, but I don't know if that holds enough value for him to hold buzz now. He's still riding our wave. We're still young enough to put up a fight for Will Smith.
Yeah. I mean, here's the flip side. Like, do I think the whole situation was weird and like part of me does think it was staged because everybody seems to be still talked about at this point. Like, we're still talking about it.
Right.
I mean, Chris Rock is obviously fucking making bank off of it because his tour was not sold out, and now it is.
Right.
Because everybody wants to hear what he's going to say about getting smacked. Like, Is like, did they pull the Oscar from Will? They didn't.
No, they didn't. They said they didn't from Harvey or what's the name is, so they wasn't gonna pull it from him, but they gonna ban him for 10 years.
Which, I mean, fine. If he's got his Oscar, what does he care about at this point? You know what I mean? Like, he got it.
Maybe he's LeBron. Now he's Oscar happy. He's addicted to Oscars. Now I want more Oscars.
Right. I don't know. We'll see. But
now you gotta wait 10 years for you can get another Oscar.
Right.
Well, but the flip side is if he puts out some banger movies between now and then, they'll give him one just on principle. You know what I mean? Like, they'll give him like a makeup one, basically, if he should have been nominated for something while like that 10-year ban was in effect. Either that or 10 years from now, Will Smith could get a lifetime achievement award type thing. You know what I mean?
And there might be a stipulation, Mike. They might make him accept all his awards through Zoom.
Right. Right.
No in-person recognition.
You are only allowed to accept via hologram.
Right. You want to smack anything, smack that tripod standing in front of you, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah.
But you know what? My inadvert led to your topics on the show, right? The upcoming movies I'm excited about and upcoming video games. And I was doing my due diligence and looking through the list. And I couldn't help but feel, what's the word? I don't know, just like over it.
Like over entertainment?
Yeah, over it all. Like, because even like, I looked at the movies and I think I only saw one or two
that caught your eye. I was kind of in the same boat.
Well, caught my eye was even less, but like 3 that were original movies that wasn't Buzz Lightyear or, you know what I mean? Like a remake of something or a part 2 of something, but nothing was original. There was the Nope by Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
That looks good. The Scary Movie, that looks good. I will say that. There was the Northman or something like that. I think it was the Northman. About the Viking who was prince of the kingdom and they killed his dad.
Gotcha.
And he went on as a slave to try to find the person who killed his dad to avenge his father and all that and get his kingdom back. That looked good. And then there was one more that was an original thought. I can't think of what the name of it was, though. I might be under exaggerating. There might be a couple more that were original thoughts. But my whole point of it is...
No, I mean, we're definitely in a place of, like, big IP. Like, it's either already been a book that they're adapting, or it's a video game that they're adapting, or it's part of a big franchise series. Like, I'm not going to lie.
That's been proven already.
Right. And part of that is, what you're seeing is, again, it's the inverse of the long tail effect of the internet. Like, you were supposed to be able to get more niche with, like, things like streaming and those kind of things. And I think we have, but that means that the stuff that goes to theaters and the stuff that they put marketing dollars behind are the things that they know are going to clear $1 billion.
Right.
It's Star Wars, it's Marvel, it's DC. Like, and that's not to say that there aren't good, like, lower budget, independent type films happening.
That's where it's going to end up having to be.
But it's going to be, they're not going to go to theaters. They're going to get released in streaming. And the other thing that happened that exasperated that was COVID. I mean, shit, we had Lenox, which was one of the biggest theaters in the city, shut down and close its doors. Like, AMC lost a presence in Columbus. And now at least somebody else picked it up, and it's like Phoenix something or other now. But the thing is that a lot of theaters, like, shuttered their doors, and so when they come back, they can't afford to put smaller movies that aren't going to make as much money on screens where they could double up what they're making on whatever the latest, Marvel film is.
See, I think you're giving motherfuckers too much credit. I think because at the end of the day, regardless of what the data tells you, right, that's still your art. That's art. And if anything, COVID should have made you pull back your art.
Here's the point there, though. So with a pandemic, yes, I'm with you. We should have expected to see an explosion of art.
Right.
Like the creative juices should have been flowing. Like folks were getting through it that way. That is,
or at least stockpiling something to like.
But that's
a tidal wave of entertainment that comes after.
But that's exactly what you're seeing, Cliff, and that's exactly why it's the big budget movies that are making it through, because everything else was shut down during COVID because they couldn't meet restrictions. The only stuff that was getting made the last 2 years was the big budget studios that had the budget to follow COVID shit.
The restrictions is a great point.
Or
but that doesn't take me off of my inadvert, right? Because even the video games, I even looked through the list of video games, and I remember coming up in an era where a video game was fantasy.
Yeah.
Right.
It was for you to do all the things that you couldn't do, and now it's the movie. It's another movie. You just gave me a movie. You just released Avatar 2, and now you're going to give me an Avatar 2 video game. Like I can't, like, give me a world I haven't seen at this point.
Here's the only place where I'll argue that, and that's without having seen the game. If they expand on the universe that the movie brings to the table.
Right. Now I understand what you're saying. And I'm just giving that as an example. I don't even know if I saw that on the list of games but like, it's like, where is the originality? If I can't get it from a movie that I used to love to go see, that experience that I used to love having, then at least give it to me in this experience. And it's almost to a point where you can't, it's robotic.
Yeah, it's formulaic.
It's almost like, you can't escape the system, huh? You can't escape it with a movie, not a video game. Everything is repetition. Everything is done over and over and over again. So recycled and watered down. And it's like, I'm over it.
And part of that is the AAA titles of like the Call of Duties, the Rainbow Sixes. Like it's the same game, just repackaged, maybe a slightly different story, right? And it's funny because I'll give you a crossover to the other topic. The new WWE 2K22. I love it, man. Like
I know about it.
They
I don't know. I've never played.
I mean, I'd be on it.
Yeah. All right. So we might have to go into that one a little bit, Mal, because like even that, because I picked up what was the last one, like 2K20 or 2K19.
That was trash, wasn't it?
It was awful, and I'm like, this is not like I used to play wrestling games, and honestly, like Cliff knows this. Back when we did our backyard wrestling, like I had all of our characters in the game from like our shit when we would wrestle in the backyard.
That's dope. You create them and shit.
So we'd have Medieval versus Killer Wolf, and like the game was hot, and it was super simple controls, and they fucked it up because they almost tried to take it to like a UFC route for a while there, and it was just like, this is such trash. But they brought it back to intuitive gameplay. They did the what do they call it? Like the My Rise, the career mode.
I like that.
They're back to doing fun stuff there. Like it's fun. And yes,
can't get into it.
Is it still a pain in the ass when you have more than like two people in the ring? Yes. Yes, the targeting is still kind of fucked up. Battle Royals and Royal Rumbles get a little crazy, but I mean overall, like it's an easy game. Like anybody can pick that game up and play it. And then two, it's fun. And like it's been a while since I just like played a game that was mindless and fun. Like I kind of get that in the games that I play with my son, with like Rocket League and Splatoon and the Minecraft games. Like for the most part, those are just like fucking around and having a good time with him. Minecraft gets a little more intense because there's more shit to do, but like Rocket League, that game, I have such mixed feelings about it because it's addictive. It's built on like your gamification, like 101. You got bright lights, big sounds,
Okay.
and it's quick matches. So like the matches are 5 minutes long, and like it's easy to get sucked up into it. I mean, shit. We started a tournament at 8:00. We played 6 games in it between 8 and 9:15, and like we were almost in the finals. And like it's fun because it gives me and my son something to bond over, right? And so we have a good time doing that stuff. But you know where they get you? Hey, Dad, can I get more Rocket League credits to like buy whatever the next
new
decal?
ball
New car, new decal, whatever. And I mean, he's got Christmas money and that kind of stuff, or birthday money, and like he does chores and shit. But still,
right.
The game is free to play. And I guarantee you, we've spent $200 on that fucking game.
Right.
That's how they
6
get
months.
you. That's how they get you. Don't charge too much on the front end, but get you on the pay to play.
That's
on
almost
the
smart
back
though,
end.
right? That's
It
smart
is.
though.
Because I'm
Way
sure
to bring you in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they make more money on that than they would if they charged like $20 for the game. Because
Well,
guess what?
just-
Every time I buy credits, I'm dropping $10 or $20 or whatever. I mean, he's giving me cash to like use my credit card, but still, like, I bet if I go back right now and I look at all my Nintendo Store charges, I've got at least $200 from Rocket League on.
Damn. Yeah.
Now that's over almost a year, but still, like, spending $20
For
a
a
month
free
on that
game, yeah,
Right.
that's a little,
Right.
But
Well-
yeah, I mean, everything is just weird to me now.
Yeah.
I think you're just grumpy and old.
I mean,
That's
that could
also a
definitely,
factor.
that could definitely be playing a part in it because I definitely am grumpier over the years, but
Your
It's
taste has
just-
changed.
I would like, what is it to see anymore? You
Right.
know? Like, I feel like it's a pattern. Like, I feel like, and we've talked about this, but I feel like not even the games, the movies, anything, the life as a whole is a pattern. Motherfuckers will wear out your favorite flavor.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
Don't let them find out what you like. It'll
Yeah.
get worn the fuck out. Look at all these girls getting BBLs and asses and all this shit. Like, it's to the point now where I don't even know if I like ass anymore. Like, do I like ass? Everybody has one now. What do I like it? Do I still like? Is it
Standing
still
out.
the thing I'm looking at?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, is it still the I don't. I'm just
Now it's the earlobes. Let's switch to the earlobes or something.
right. Let me.
like a
let me check
Ferengi.
The next thing you know, people gonna have them African ears with the big old
They
things.
do.
In them, so
Those
they lobes
gauges,
get
they have
stretched
them
out,
now.
and you're gonna be like, I don't like earlobes anymore.
Right.
Now I'm on nostrils.
Right. I was about to say that's crazy. You said that.
The fuck? It's just like,
It's arms. It's arms now, right? Or it's calves.
man, all
Elbows.
that.
I'm
What
attracted
your
to
elbows
calves.
look like.
What's
But
your
that's the
elbows?
thing, though. Don't let them know what you like. You can like
Right.
it, but you can't tell them what you like because that's when everybody got it.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Like, you say that, and I'm thinking through when I'm swiping on a dating app, especially a woman that's not going to give you, like, the full body shot, and they've got, like, their arms next to them across. I'm doing the Ray Charles, and I'm looking at the wrists. Like, how thick's that wrist? I bet you I can figure out how big you are off of that.
Listen, he said that the Ray Charles. I'm not even mad at you.
Yeah, that boy Ray Charles and them.
I'm not even mad at you. I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm waiting on the pendulum to swing again.
I think it will. I think the question is where. And
Where
What
as
I-
far as time or where as far as it swings to.
where it swings to, and I'm
Okay.
wondering if I'm wondering I'm trying to piece together my thought here. So this goes back to my comment earlier. What makes it to mainstream are the big blockbuster mass appeal type things. That doesn't mean that we haven't seen an explosion in creative content. It's just harder to find because there's almost an overpopulation of it. So because there are so many options, there are so many streaming platforms, there are so many like independent game studios and independent games, like it's harder to find the diamonds in the rough because I actually think there's a lot of them. And it's just they don't, because of that saturation point, they don't get the audiences they deserve. And so they're harder to find.
I think that's another issue though. Like now that we've gone to streaming services and different platforms and everything, like I'll miss content just because I'm not gonna sign up for another streaming service.
Yep, I get that.
I'm just not gonna do it. So I don't care if my favorite shit's over here. I'm not watching my favorite shit for a while then.
Right.
Because I'm not about to switch what I got to what that is, because it's always the better the devil you know situation.
It is. I think that's where, I don't know, I go back and forth. Like, I will pick up Paramount Plus for 2 months at a time and then cancel my subscription just to watch Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard.
I'm subscribed out. And it ain't even about money. It's just about
like the brain power, the capacity.
Yeah, I don't want to cancel. I don't want to start. I don't want to enter my card. I don't want to do any of it. I'm done with it.
Well, this goes back to a comment I made last year, and I'm starting to see new options for it. But like with your streaming devices and being able to more easily enter your username and password and shit, like there are apps now where it's saying scan it with your phone and we'll just pop a notification to your app on the phone. And then it's just a yes, like give access. So, but I hear your point. Like
that's a sticking point with me too. I'm sick of typing in my email. I'm sick of typing in a password. I'm sick of all that.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it's funny because I just had to go through all of this with a new device because I have, so Cliff, you know my setup at the crib where I've got the 4 Fire TVs or whatever so that I can have all the games and shit. Well, the fucking puppy ate a goddamn remote 2 weeks ago, and the damn remotes cost just like if you just get a replacement remote for the Alexa, you might as well just buy a new Fire Stick. Like it's a $5 price difference. Right. And so like I bought another Fire Stick. But I had to go back through and add passwords to like 6 fucking apps, and there are at least 3 or 4 of them that do that now, where it's like scan the QR code and we'll pop you a notification on your phone.
Right, I like that.
But
even still, the convenience isn't gonna get me.
No, I get it.
And I feel like I'm not the only motherfucker out there that's like that. You know what I'm saying? So eventually they're going to see. It's almost like the podcast, right? Like when you look at YouTube, you're like, damn, 7 views. But then you see on Facebook it's 27 and whatever else we're streaming on. And it's like, why can't we just consolidate?
Put it all in one place.
Why can't I just consolidate?
Because then you don't have the reach.
We'll at least find a way that's more convenient with all this technology that we have to consolidate all of the views into one place, one bucket.
And that is what's nice about the podcast front. Now, I hear you on the video side with Facebook and YouTube. Like, there's not actually, I wonder if Streamlabs does it. Since Streamlabs is kind of our host, I wonder if they have, you know what? I'll look into that just in terms of what the analytics are and if they bundle them all together or not.
And I'm not even really talking about for, the podcast standpoint. I'm saying for everything. I'm not trying to go to Google to find out where I can see the new season of Fargo.
Right.
It's not on Netflix. So what streaming app is that? And where do I go to view? Can I download it to my Roku? All that is just too much for me.
I get it.
That's why I said I'm waiting on the pendulum to swing. All of this is.
I mean, but here's the flip side. The danger is that we see a massive consolidation there, and we end up back with things like cable companies where you have to buy all of it to get the one thing you want. Like that's kind of where we were, man. So that's where I'm like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I hear what you're saying.
I think
from
I
the
like that
convenience.
more.
I hear what you're saying from that standpoint. I'm just saying, like, I will tell you, I spend probably $50 less a month doing just internet and selecting my streaming services versus what I was paying for cable and internet.
Oh no, I mean anybody can say that,
But
but the
okay.
fact that you're missing out on all this content,
That's
because you
true.
got to think about it this way too. Just like you said with the movies, the fact that only the AAA movies are making it through, it's the same with content. All of the movies and the TV shows that we love so much that aren't on our streaming platforms that we're missing out on goes into their analytics, which leads them to believe people no longer are
Want
interested
those
in our
things.
show.
Right.
Let's stop making it.
Right.
And
Well,
that's not the case
but
always.
But you've got the flip side of that where Netflix has brought back shows that didn't get the ratings or didn't get the whatever because they built up a following and then you saw those shows come back. I mean, honestly, like, that was Cobra Kai, dude. Cobra Kai was on YouTube. It was on YouTube Red or whatever, YouTube Premium, whatever the fuck they called it. And it was buried.
I thought that was a porn site.
No, that's Red 2. Different.
Yeah, just reverse.
I was testing you.
You knew. But yeah, like, so, and you've seen Netflix has done that with a couple of different shows. So that's where I'm like, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we even made entertaining ourselves hard.
To an extent. But I also think, so the counterpoint there is there's more content available, which means there's more jobs of people making content, which is, is that good for the end game?
No, I could definitely see that as being a thing.
So, I don't know. All right. What else we got? Anybody else have another inadvertent thought?
I do, but it would take us to a different place.
What's the Edge? Mike?
What's that?
You know how Edge says, "You think you know me" or whatever his new little song.
You think you know me.
He's talking about taking it to a different place.
I ain't do that.
Well, I've got an inadvertent that's actually from like a week ago that I got reminded of because I've been seeing the Buffalo Bills meme, like the 1970s Bills are responsible for the Kardashians. You guys seen this one?
No, I haven't seen it.
So I'm going to read it off just because I think it's hilarious. All right. So reminder, the Buffalo Bills barely lost the game in 1970 by missing on a bad pass for a touchdown. The loss allowed them to get the first pick in the draft where they took O.J. Simpson. O.J. lived in Buffalo where he met his wife, Nicole, and then allegedly killed her. He then hired Robert Kardashian to be his lawyer. They won the case, making the Kardashians somewhat famous. Then, Kim drops the sex tape and becomes famous. So basically, the 1970 Buffalo Bills are the reason we have to deal with the Kardashians today. If they would have won that one game, they would have never picked OJ, so he would have never met Nicole and thus never had a chance to kill her, preventing the entire Kardashian family from ever being even a sliver of subject in modern culture. And my inadvertent thought was related to that, where I'm like, we always talk about Kim in the sex tape. What the fuck happened to Ray J? Is he still around? What happened to Ray J? I need to know.
He's just dating other Kims. He's still talking about the tape when he can.
Where is he?
Nah, last I heard from Ray J, he was on the money team.
Was he?
With Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent.
All right. I was just curious.
But that was years ago. I don't know.
See?
What's happened since? Remember, 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather have been beefing for at least 5 years.
Right.
So that has been at least 6 years ago that I remember Ray J on the money team.
See? What happened to him, man? And it goes back to my other one, like, and I used to argue this point, and I think I can't, no, because we came up with our list of questions before the Super Bowl. And we asked the question, is Tupac still alive? And I used to argue the point, and now I can't because when Dre played I Ain't Mad at You on the piano and he didn't show up, I gave up hope.
Man, listen.
Like, but my point used to be, nah, Pac and Biggie are on an island somewhere with all the girls from their videos. Where is Lil' Kim? What happened to Lil' Kim?
Lil' Kim is now a white woman.
Oh, she pulled the Jackson. She pulled the
Lil'
Michael
Kim
Jackson.
is now Joan Rivers. Lil' Kim, it's Illuminati sacrifices. Joan Rivers is gone, so Lil' Kim can live.
Ooh, I just seen Lil' Kim too, and her plastic surgery or whatever she's gotten done since whenever.
Joan Rivers.
It's not working.
Listen, I don't know what entertainment does to make you hate your blackness.
Oh, I forgot Lil' Kim. I'm tripping right now. I don't know who she's so unrecognizable. I don't even know who I thought she was.
Joan Rivers.
Like,
second fucking coming.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
I don't know what it is about the entertainment industry that makes you see that.
It says she's 4'11". Fun fact.
Yeah, that's why she's Lil' Kim.
Well, everybody be putting Lil these days. Lil Baby, he's like 6 foot, or whatever. Like, but that's a good point though. I think back then,
right,
like people were really
like,
sticking to their Lil,
right.
Yeah. Because now, like, okay, so inadvertent. Okay, Cliff, you just let me to an inadvertent. Lil these days, LIL, is not the same Lil as back in the day.
Nah, Lil Flip was
it's not just that. It's not just that. It's everything. But what was you about to say, Mike?
I said Lil Flip's like Cliff size.
Right.
No, Lil Flip is like 6'4".
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Lil Flip is big.
All right, so he started the
yeah, Lil Flip is big.
Ironic Lil, I guess.
Right. He's 6'1". He's 6'1".
6'1".
Flip. Game over.
Right. And T.I. ended that quick.
Man, I was on the T.I. train.
Me too.
So fun fact: so in the hip hop community, the first Lil rapper kind of moniker name was supposedly rocked by Lil Troy in 1988.
Out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Everybody bit his shit.
But he's actually short too. He's not a tall.
I remember hearing about him. Lil
yeah.
Troy. Yeah, I remember.
He had his famous song was that I'm a baller.
My dad played that all this
days on Impala.
Caller getting left tonight. As he said, switch your own. Yeah, that was that's a good. I gotta download that, by the way. But no, he doesn't say his height, but he looks short as hell.
All right, so that leads me to a thought. I like when we go on these tangents.
Right.
Best rap beefs.
Best rap beefs. Jay-Z and Nas.
Jay-Z and Nas is
that is a great one.
Because they went at it.
That might be one of the all-timers.
Now, the one that you'll never...
Pac and Biggie,
I was about
to say,
the one you'll never top is, first off, fuck your bitch in the clique she claim.
Right, Pac and Biggie. Man. Any of the West Coast beefs were pretty good, like Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, No Vaseline. I mean, the Biggie and Tupac to me is definitely the number one. Like,
Nah, you gotta go Biggie and Tupac. Then I'd probably go.
What about 50 Cent and Ja Rule?
That's what I was about to say. I'll probably put that at number 2.
It's definitely up there.
50.
And only out of actions taken, not necessarily out of like publicity.
Right.
I mean that was out in the public, but there was a lot more action taken in that than we knew about.
Well, and like even from a music standpoint, you had, what was it? Was 50 calling?
Then you gotta put, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Then you gotta put Chris Brown, Frank Ocean in there.
They got
and then they fighting at the studio.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Mike. So you can't go action taken. I guess we can't do it that way.
Well, but the thing with the 50 job beef was like how everybody was fucking involved in that. Like all of Aftermath was in that by the end. Like the diss tracks between like John 50 were one thing, but like the Eminem, Benzino, like all of that shit, that is some of the hottest like rap disses that were ever recorded. Eminem went in on them. Like my favorite one ever is the one where he's got Haley at the end of the song going, "Daddy, is Ja Rule taller than me?" And Eminem just goes, "No, honey, you two are the same size." Like,
right.
Nah, we can't. I'm not going by action taken, so I gotta go Tupac and Biggie, Jay-Z and Nas. I'm going Cam and 50 Cent.
Cameron and 50 Cent, we're at it?
Uh-huh.
What about, hold on, Cliff, you can't put that Cameron 50 Cent over that 50
Or
Cent.
no, was it Cam and Jay-Z?
It was Cam and Jay-Z.
That sounds probably more right. But you can't put that over the 50 Cent Kanye West. That was big. Remember, they were...
remember 50 Kanye
That wasn't shit. That was just for... because they were selling on the same day, but that wasn't the real.
No, that was Jay-Z and Cam, I think. Was that
what about the Pusha T Drake beef?
That gotta go up there.
That shit was getting ready to go down. They said it was going to go down.
Well, and I guess too, like, are we talking about in the music, or are we talking about like where it came to real life? I mean, to the
a little bit of both.
Pac
right?
is both, right? Like Pac and Biggie's both. Now we don't have any proof, but we know what happened.
Right. Because even Chris Brown and Drake were throwing punk ass bottles at each other in the club back in the day when they was beefing over Rihanna, and neither one of them got her in the end. As a side note, how dumb is that?
Rihanna just.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that. Now I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that. I think both of them got her. Neither of them tamed her.
Right? Yeah, that's.
I think that's right. How it went. And I know tame isn't the best word to use, but I feel.
Yeah. No.
But you know what I mean when I say that, because I see Rihanna as like a.
But she's into all that. BDSM shit. Like I'm sure she would identify. I'm sure she would identify as a brat and fucking dom.
Shit.
Like
Mike just said she pegging A$AP Rocky.
right. Now we know that it's a secret.
I thought we already knew that. I thought Rihanna, like that came out about her and Chris.
What?
Yeah. No, I ain't know nothing about that.
Right.
Everybody thought that Whips and Chains Handcuffs song that she had was
allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly. The lawyer lady up there in the booth is telling me to say allegedly.
Yeah. Oh shit. Breaking.
I was kidding.
Listen, right. I don't know. Shit. I don't put it past none of them motherfuckers though.
That shit is crazy.
But I just look
if
at
Rihanna
wants
to,
a wild
who's going to say no to her?
Just what do you call it? Trolloping through
Unicorn.
like a. I don't know. Shit, could be
a stallion.
But a stallion is a male horse, so can't be a stallion.
Ooh, well, then Meg might be trying to tell us something. Call her Meg the Stallion.
They've been saying that, but motherfuckers used to call women stallions back in the day.
Oh yeah, oh, right. She's a stallion.
Good old fashioned misogyny. Nah, I'm just playing.
Oh shit.
But A$AP Rocky getting paid.
Oh,
allegedly. No, I'm just playing.
Well,
I I don't know how that works.
I'll throw one more in there because it gave like one of the best, again, another one of the top diss tracks in my mind. Fucking Game in 50.
They're still
Oh,
they've
yeah,
been getting
forget
into it
about
lately.
that.
Like they've been getting into it lately on Instagram. Yeah. Yeah.
Like 300 bars, that song is hot. And it just goes.
I love the game. I love the game. I like 50, but I love the game.
I wasn't really a fan of either. Like, don't get me wrong, I like 50's first album, but I wasn't really
was hot.
I wasn't really a fan. I've never really been a fan of either of them, Game or
Cliff
50.
doesn't like any.
I had the video. Side note: I had the video game. If you guys remember.
Oh yeah, because it was built off of the NCAA or WCW NWO Revenge engine. Are you talking about that one?
That Sands, Blood in the Sands, or whatever.
Oh, I'm talking like no. There was like a 50 Cent wrestling game for a hot minute. It came out in. It wasn't too long after he dropped the first album.
You talking about Def Jam Vendetta?
Yes.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that. Mike. There was an actual G Unit 50 Cent.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Yeah, not G Unit. It wasn't G Unit. It was just 50 Cent.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Hold on, Cliff. They had some of them in there. I remember playing the missions.
They might have added them in there, but it wasn't it wasn't marketed as G Unit. It was 50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
It's called 50 Cent Bulletproof. That's the game I had.
Yeah.
Okay, Bulletproof.
Yeah, and they had and they had a couple of the people in it from G Unit. That's crazy playing that. That game was a 3.9 out of 10.
I can't remember which one it was I had.
Cliff, oh, you're right though. So we both get a point. There is one that was called 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
But I think Bulletproof is the one I had.
Yeah, Bulletproof was on PS2.
Right. When I got, because I was just about to say I had a PSP. When I got shot, I bought a PSP because I was in the hospital and I played that 50 Cent Bulletproof and I played the 300 game.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, that was a shitty ass game, but I loved it as a kid. I don't know why my parents bought it or who let me play it, but
I think Blood in the Sands came out later after the first. Yeah,
it did.
That is the first one I played then.
Mm-hmm.
But
that reminds me. I was gonna look up just since we're talking about it, just what Google has is some of the top rap beefs of all time, so to speak, just to see what they said. But go ahead, Cliff. I mean, you said you.
Let me make a video game.
What video game you want to make? What genre?
It couldn't be.
What are you doing?
It had to be fantasy.
Fantasy? All right.
It had to be fantasy. And it would be realistic fantasy.
Okay.
So I would start the game off as a man or a woman.
So create a character. All right.
Right.
So you're going role-playing game, throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, you can be whoever you want to be, but the issue is like almost like a depression situation.
Okay.
Where you as yourself are in your dumps and the game starts within you. And you start as like a little flame of yourself. And you have to beat missions, conquer shit. And as you do that, you grow. You know what I mean? Like almost like a self-empowerment type game, but it'd be like real God of War-ish.
Okay. So you got to fight like your internal demons.
Exactly. To, on some shit like that.
I like it.
But it get real dark.
All right. I can dig it. I feel like that's kind of what it... Did you ever play was it Hell's Blade or Sinuous Blade? It was kind of like
I think
that.
I know something about what you're talking about.
And it was like... It was equal parts like fantasy combat or action adventure type game, but it also had a pretty deep story. Like she was battling it was either like post-traumatic stress or something.
Oh, I know what
and
you're
like the
talking
shadows
about.
would like crawl in on her, and like it made basically physical manifestations of like her anxiety and depression. And
is that what that was?
I think so, if I remember, like, because I played.
I know exactly. It's the girl with the blue face paint.
Yep.
That game always visually drew me in.
Oh, it was visually stunning. The gameplay was not great.
Oh, see, I don't know about the gameplay. Like, but people say shit like that Rise of the Centurion.
Yeah.
I love that game. But people say the gameplay wasn't good on that.
Well, and for me, when I say it wasn't good for me. Because, like, I know, and it's funny because I'm playing a game right now, it's the exact same fucking way. Either one of you played Elden Ring?
I've heard of it. I've never,
Dude,
I don't get into shit
that's
like
like one of those Dark Souls type games, and it is fucking brutal. And I've logged probably 20 hours in it, and I like, I'm
don't like the game.
I'm no more than 5% through the game. Like, so, which
have
is
you ever
cool.
played Slaughter?
No, I don't think so.
That shit was wild.
Was it? But it's one of those
I feel
games.
like that's an angry kid game. That's a potential mass shooter game.
Hear you.
I mean, you know how I was. Like, I used to be the dude at GameStop that'll make $20 stretch for 3 weeks. I mean, I didn't get this game 7 days later after I beat it. I don't want it. Let me get this next one. And I keep it moving every trip. I did that so much I had to hit different GameStops.
That's the way. I mean, Carl was kind of the same way. I'm trying to remember the one that he was into for a minute. It was, what was it? The Crackdown games.
Mm-hmm.
Like the black superhero.
But then the thing about it is it changed when it became online more prevalent.
Yeah.
Then the competitor in me kicked in, and I didn't want to play any game that wasn't online against someone else.
Now, see, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I have no interest. Like,
I won't buy a game if it's only. That's why I never buy the regular standalones. And I used to love them, but I want to beat someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I
like both.
I'm at the other end of the spectrum. Like, I will take a good single player game with a good story, and just because it's my escapism, right? Like,
right.
If I just want to zone out and forget about life and its problems, that's the way to do it for me. If I'm doing like the competitive, even playing like Rocket League, like I just get frustrated. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. That's actually the reason why I like the new WWE game. Like, it's super simple. I've got it on like either the normal setting or the one setting up from that. And it's challenging, but it's not like overly challenging. It's just like, I just like to veg and jam out to it.
No, I need to be beating shit.
Yeah, I mean, both. I agree with both of you. Here's why I say this.
I mean, it's all a matter of preference.
Yeah.
But continue.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's a preference. It's like the time of the day. Like if it's the weekend and I know I'm an early morning riser, and let's say I have to get on the game, 9 times out of 10, unless it's someone like you, Cliff, because you get up early too, no one's on the game to play with. Like if I, you know what I'm saying, get on. So to your point, Mike, I might play WWE, some kind of solo game, kick ass. Now, the moment I see one of my boys get on, and that's when I get into the mode where I'm like, yeah, let's go whoop somebody's ass online. Let's go fuck somebody up. Let's get it. So for me, it's like, if nobody's on, I'll play alone, do something solo, obviously. Because I hate playing with randoms, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how that goes for me. But if the boys are on, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to play with the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why not? They're on.
I just miss my calling. I was born in the wrong era.
What era should you have been born in?
Way back.
The 30s?
Something where he could have been
like,
a warrior.
Right. Like way back where I could just wander the world with my sword.
Wander the world with my sword.
You know, like I don't subscribe
how
to
Zelda-
anyone. I just
Wasn't that-
wander the world, and if you so choose to step, then let's have a battle.
Is that how Zelda was? I never played it as a kid, but I don't know if either.
You know what? I never really played Zelda either. I watched people play it, but I never really got into playing it. Mike was big on it. I remember watching him play it. I was more a Donkey Kong guy.
Me too.
Like, you know, and that's what Mike was talking about. The bright light, the bright colors,
Yeah.
sound. Yeah, they got me. He was playing the interesting shit with the pixels, and I was playing the dumb folk shit. I was like, I just like the way it looks.
They had the casino like lights and sound effects, and yeah.
Sonic, love Sonic.
Me too. I
Sonic
talked
was
up playing
It's the same. Yeah, I guess the dumb folks games is what I like.
That's how I feel. Like I tried to play the remake of the Crash Bandicoot like not too long ago.
I used to like Crash back when it was on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but now I'm like, this is like
I never rock with it after we got to 2. I felt like we bypassed those kind of games.
Yeah.
Now it's more real shit.
Right, those are true kid games.
Now the flip side.
I used to play the original GTA, but go ahead.
No, the flip
where
side
it was
is
all from the top. You remember that one?
Yep, top down.
The original GTA was all above you. Everything was above you, and you had to join a gang out of like the 3 or 4 gangs and do shit and all that. That was fun.
But when you're talking those platformers and those simple platformers, like the only game that I've found like that I still will buy when they come out is the Mario games.
Well, see, Mario lost me when they started doing that first person shit.
Well, but they've gone back recently. So like the Switch games are more third person. And
okay.
They are, yes, they're 3D, but a lot of them still feel very 2D in terms of like 2D side scroller type thing.
Right.
So like the graphics are 3D, but the gameplay is 2D. Or the latest one had 2 different modes. There was like the old school Mario mode, and then there was this one that was a little more like open world.
Right, and you follow him, and he's just running around. Like, I'm good on all that. I don't know.
But the side-scrolling ones are fun.
And I might even like it. It just throws me off.
Yeah. Well, and again, Mario's different too, because if you don't have a Switch, you're not playing Mario. So it's not as easy. It's not as accessible as like Sonic that ends up on every fucking platform these days.
No joke. I probably have 3 or 4 Nintendo Wiis in my closet.
Yeah.
Real?
I probably got 3 or 4 of them. I don't know if I got controllers to all of them, but I got a whole trash bag full of Nintendo Wiis. And I'm not even joking. It has to be at least 3 of them in there. I don't even know where they came from. I know I had 2. Because I bought one and
yes, she bought one.
well, she was playing with mine so much. She got her own. And then, well, no, how did I end up getting 2 more? I do remember I had 2 at a time. I don't know if I bought another one. I don't think I did. But how I got 3 or 4, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But you know how many motherfuckers have been in and throughout this house. I don't know what was left behind. And
they just left them.
All right. Who wanted a Wii, though, for real?
I mean, they were super popular for a hot minute. Like the whole motion control thing, that was the first instance where it did catch on a little bit.
What was that? Is it Edgar Allan Poe and then damn, what was it called? It wasn't called, and then there was one. It was called fuck. It was a murder mystery game on the Wii, though.
Well, that wasn't Alan Wake, was it? That was Xbox.
Nah, this was based on a book.
Okay. No, I'm not remembering that one.
Can't think of the name of it. I was addicted to that game though. And it wasn't even all we like you still had to like point and do all the shit, but it wasn't like you moved all day.
Right.
Like you could just sit on your couch and play it.
Kind of just point and click.
Right. But I was addicted to that. Yeah, games just ain't what they used to be.
Not too many of them are.
I don't know. I'll take a good like Skyrim or Mass Effect over anything we had growing up. So, but again, it's those big story-based games, and that's more what I'm into. So,
right.
I mean, I got into the whole Assassin's Creed and all that back in the day.
yeah.
I still think the best one was the one where you played online against other motherfuckers.
Yeah. I tried to get into that one, but I couldn't.
Or the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the single player Assassin's Creed games, although I didn't finish the latest one with the Vikings or whatever, but
no, I don't. I mean, they lost me after a while when they sold the shit.
yeah.
So I bought some of them that I ain't even really cared to finish.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
Well, I'm trying
I
to
tried
think.
to play one of the Assassin's Creed, but I never got past it.
Yeah, them newer ones this week.
Well, I had the Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, all them is the newer ones. That's when they got bought out.
Yeah, because they what Activision? Did Activision take them? I can't remember.
No, I don't know if it was Activision. I don't know who it was, but they did a horrible job at it. Now that's what you talk about. You don't like the gameplay. That's a game that I don't like. Just don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way you fight.
Because it used to be like rhythm based, like you could get into a rhythm and just go.
That shit was hot, man.
Yeah, that was my
and that way.
Issue with
that way you could play online.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that way it was because it was rhythm based. You could beat someone in a hand-to-hand combat situation. But the way they got it now, there's no way you could do it online. It would be like a Streets of Rage situation.
Yeah.
Where you're just hitting each other until one person's
Well, I mean, the best thing with
down.
the multiplayer one was like hiding in the crowd and getting an assassination. Like
you can fight hand-to-hand too, though.
I know you could, but like for me, that was the stealth aspect. Like
right.
I can deal with. I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I find it too difficult to be kind of the sniper role in the first-person shooters. But then in a game like that, like playing the more stealth type thing, I love it. And there's not enough games that give you that kind of dichotomy, to your point, to be either able to, go in and go guns blazing or stealth. So I don't know. I will say there is one game coming out, and it will probably get pushed because I just don't trust them at this point. Starfield. It's the new. I think it's the new. It's either the new. Is it the new Bethesda game? But it's basically like the next iteration of
some Star Trek shit.
Yeah, it's science or sci-fi, but in like the Elder Scrolls. Gameplay
I'm waiting on ESBC. That's the only game I'm worried about.
You've been talking about that game for a year now. Is it ever coming out?
They said 2022, 2023. But I mean, their original.
They're just waiting for it to get bought out by Fight Night so that Fight Night can distribute it.
Fight Night ain't gonna do nothing. Fight Night gonna have to be forced to come up as a competitor, and I think that that's gonna increase. I think that that's the best thing that could happen for Fight Sports.
I agree with that.
ESBC is at a point right now where I don't think they would sell if they could.
No.
Like I don't think even if Fight Night was like, we can get all the fighters in here if you let us.
Yeah.
They would still be like, nah, we do what we got.
I mean, that we've talked about that before. Like, Electronic Arts is the worst of like the consolidation in the video game industry. because they have all of these exclusive fucking contracts, and like the NFL one's up. Is that what I heard? I think the NFL one's up. Now, whether they re-sign or not, I don't know. But like
that's why everybody was hoping that we get a 2K football this year.
Because they're out of exclusivity.
Right.
Now, the other one that, you would hope maybe has a chance would be college. Now that you can pay players for their likeness
that's supposed to be coming. That's coming back this year too. I thought that was already already had a set date.
I was just looking through the 2022 game releases, and I did not see that.
Yeah, I didn't see it on there, but I thought they had a set date this year.
So Madden got extended. The contract got extended to 2026.
Yeah.
The deal's worth up to 1.6 billion.
Jesus.
I don't know if I'm happy about that or not. I was kind of hoping for a 2K football, see what it was like.
You remember the 2K football on Dreamcast?
Was way better than Madden.
Absolutely. Now that was before
it did
Madden
have some
really
glitches in it.
It did, but
that stiff arm was OP. You could run a 5-yard sweep and just stiff arm the whole way down the field. If you hit the timing right, it was like everybody, didn't matter where they was jumping from, you're stiff arming. Yeah, no, but with the ESBC, if they hold their ground, I think that's the best thing, because then Fight Night has no other choice but to exceed ESBC. You know what I mean? Like, they already know, like they already see that people are interested and they see how hard they're working. So once they get a product, you already know how it is. It's like you go on second on an event. Okay, now I see what I gotta beat.
Right.
Now, when you go on first, it gets tough. And I feel like EA Sports would have dropped the ball if they went first, because they'd have just put out the same old thing with better graphics.
Yeah.
And people would have been like, this is bullshit. But now that they got a strong competitor, I feel like they have no choice but to really get down on their shit. And if they fuck up, we got NBA Live.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? Like how that is, how the back and forth used to be. Like,
right.
A lot of people didn't like 2K back in the day.
I didn't. I was an NBA Live dude. I only went to 2K when they stopped making NBA Live.
I was a 2K dude. Now I would gamble on NBA Live because that's where all the gamblers were. Right. But 2K was always single player with me. Now, don't get me wrong. I've made some money off 2K.
Right.
But I probably made more off 2K than I have off Live. But 2K was always like my player shit with me. I was more interested in than playing the game against someone.
No, that makes sense. Because that's how I am now. I think now you got me like that. Like, one of my dudes will come over and he'll be like usually we'll play Madden, that's his game, or he'll be like you want to play 2K? But again, if I had to, my whole point is I'd rather play my career,
than
to play head to head.
Right, because I'm not getting that.
Opposite. Right, but I used to be the opposite. Like, come on, run these teams, let's go. You know,
I'm not getting nothing from playing you. Like, unless we're playing for money.
Right.
What is another rank? Now I'm a 15 instead of a 14. That doesn't mean anything. But with my player, as soon as I step in, if I'm hot shit, motherfuckers know I'm hot shit. Stay away from him. That's how I do my thing.
Of course, Mikey had to throw that in there. Stay away from him.
Better fucking stay away from me.
All right, we got anything else on the game? Or the game?
No, nothing else on the fucking game.
Yeah, nothing on the game. Well, I know Grand Theft Auto 6, which I know Cliff, I know you're
that's supposed to be 2024, they said.
It's supposed to be like sometime, I thought further than that.
Rockstar just says, fuck you guys. We'll get to it when we get to it. We're still making money.
Really do.
GTA
They
5.
really do.
Well, tell people to stop doing all the fucking microtransactions on GTA 5.
You know what? That is it. And they just released some kind of revamped, I heard.
I don't fuck with GTA. I fuck with Red Dead for I fuck with GTA.
But they do a ton of fucking updates on GTA. Like that shit gets updated and new content added all the time.
All the time. I will give them that. Like,
I mean, I don't fuck with it either, but like the fact that we're still talking about it and that game is getting up on 10 years old, it's got to be, right? Like when did GTA?
It's probably more than that, Mike.
GTA the first one. Like GTA 5, GTA 5, I mean, the first version of it came out on Xbox 360. I remember because I bought it. I even had an early release to where I had to go to GameStop at 12 o'clock and I could pick my shit up. But I bought it and I didn't have enough memory on my Xbox, so I had to go back up there. Couldn't play it that night because the install didn't finish. Had to go back up there and buy an expansion pack for my 360, plug that in so I could play. But I'm just saying that to say my daughter was 3 at the time.
Okay, so it's not quite 10 years old.
Right.
But we're still talking like 7 years ago, right? 6 years ago?
No, it's probably like 7, 8.
Yeah.
It says it came out 2013. It says 2013.
So it's 9.
Grand Theft Auto 5, that is. It came out September the 17th, 2013.
She was about to turn 3.
Yeah, that's probably it then.
So yeah. I mean, was that the last game that you waited or that you picked up at midnight?
2K. 2K I have since then.
Have you? The last game that I did a midnight release for was the last NCAA game.
Really?
Yeah.
2K I did midnight for after that. But
I'll take that back.
Now I just do it online.
Right, exactly. Like that was the change too. But even then, like I don't get it the first day because I want them to install the first like week's worth of patches before I fucking download it.
Nah, you can test them. I'll test them out for you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. And, I'll be the scapegoat. I'll test them out for the guinea pig. Let me see.
All right.
When's that?
What?
Well, the last thing I was just gonna say real quick is when's that NCAA come out, Mike?
No, I don't think they've announced it yet. Cliff's the one saying that he thinks.
I thought they did.
I see something about around July of 2023.
See, I think 23 was the last I heard.
That's still a whiles away.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike.
I mean, they've got to restart. They've got to build it from scratch, and I hope they do. I hope they're not leveraging the Madden engine or anything. I want them to build a whole new fucking game, and I want them to fix things like the option, and I want them to bring back the way that you used to be able to do the option and shit. Like the running the ball controls was so much better in the college football games than it is in Madden.
I agree.
And maybe that's just because from a player balance perspective, like you can have a difference maker in college. It's harder to have quote unquote a difference maker in pro. It's just the
right.
You can, but the level is different. Like the gap between that and the next guy isn't as high as it is in college.
I know what you mean.
All right. Anything else on the games?
That's all I got, Mike.
So Malcolm, I do want to shift gears here, and Cliff may check out of the conversation. I don't know.
Listen.
Last week, WrestleMania.
I'm checking it. I'll be back.
All right.
So what I will say is I still haven't gone back and watched the first 3 matches from night 1.
Okay.
So I didn't watch the Usos. And I didn't know Shinsuke and this Rick Boogs were a team.
Yeah, they have been for a while now. Yeah.
Like, and I honestly don't follow it close enough. Like, I know Shinsuke because he pops up in pay-per-views and at the Royal Rumbles and shit, and I know he's, like, the crowd goes crazy for him and his entrance and all that, but I don't know him very well.
Right.
So, Usos win that one, and the Usos are aligned with their, cousin, brother?
Roman. Yeah,
Roman, okay.
Cousin. Yeah, the bloodline.
So Usos win that one. Was it a clean finish? Was it a good match? Did you watch that one?
I did watch that one overall. It was a good finish. It was a clean match. There wasn't any kind of like interference.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, they won that one.
All right. And the next one was Drew McIntyre versus Corbin. I don't even know where Corbin came from. Like, he came in while I was not paying attention. Like, Drew McIntyre I was familiar with. Corbin,
back
like,
in the day.
Yeah. Like, so, again, this is not one that I caught. Looks like McIntyre won by pinfall. Was there anything notable in that one?
No. It was just Corbin. Corbin, kind of a high overview. He used to have hair, long hair.
Yeah.
You could tell he was balding, and he was always been like the what's it called, the heel.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he went from like this rock star kind of like emo heel
to corporate, didn't he?
To Corbin, and he like cut his, shaved his head like you. And he's been a heel, but he's been like kind of like a jokester heel now.
Okay. So they've kind of buried him in a comedy type role.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was just broke Corbin like 6 months ago to he became rich and he's happy Corbin. Okay. It's a stupid gimmick, but it was a clean match though.
That seems like my take on WWE in general is that they like who they like and they bury who they don't. And it comes down to like backstage politics, and this is where I think I did on Hit the Showers the last time I was on. Like, my Hit the Showers was Vince McMahon because I think he needs to leave and they need to let Triple H run the business.
What?
Yeah, Vince is getting old. He's up there, Cliff. If you've seen him now, like but I don't know if you've seen it, Mike. Like he ripped his shirt off and he was in a beater. Vince McMahon was at one point. Like I ain't gonna lie, for however old he is, he's jacked. Like
he is, but like he's saggy jacked. He's not.
He is saggy. It's not all.
Not where he
tight.
was even in the late like early 2000s. He was like he's definitely starting to show his age.
You can tell he's getting older. Yeah, that match, Mike. It was a rivalry that was been going on for a little bit now that they just threw together. I don't know what they're gonna do with that next.
Probably in like the month leading up to WrestleMania, just to give them both a spot on the card.
Right, that's exactly I think what it was. But yeah, that match was okay. I didn't think it was that good though.
All right, and then the last one that I didn't catch was the Mysterios versus the Miz and Logan Paul.
That was interesting. I thought it was cool because Cliff, you'll be able to know what I'm talking about just by me saying this, but like Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic Mysterio would be equivalent of like LeBron and Bronny playing together.
Right.
See that father-son connection happen too many times in sports entertainment. So that was really cool to see them do that at WrestleMania, especially like have that moment
because they were the first father-son tag team to ever win the titles too. Now that
really?
They only had it for a hot minute, but
right. And I remember when he came in with blonde tips. Mike, I don't know if you remember when Eddie Guerrero was still alive. Him and Ray were in that storyline.
Yeah.
Dominic was a kid with blonde tips, and they pretended like they didn't know who the father was. So.
Right. They were going back and forth. Right. But I mean, like Mysterio, Cliff, can still do the shit he was doing back in WCW.
Legend.
I bet.
Legend, Cliff.
I bet.
He's still doing. Yeah, he's still doing it. Like, I don't know what his regimen is, but boy, he's.
I bet.
The crazy shit he does off the springboard and
even Sting. I don't know if you guys. Sting is still wrestling. He's like in his 60s.
And he's in what? He's AEW. Is that where he's
at?
Yeah.
I'm yelling like a motherfucker, ain't I?
Getting old.
Oh my God, I'm still great.
Right. Hey.
So since Miz and Logan Paul won, shenanigans? Was there a foreign object, something?
Miz actually turned on Logan Paul and did his finishing move on him, the Skull Crusher, I guess, finale they call it, at the end. After they lost, he acted like, they were still they attacked the Mysterios.
Gotcha.
And then he acted like they were boys, and when he wasn't looking, he just moved on.
Because Miz is Miz, and,
Because Miz is Miz.
All right, so this is where I picked up Becky Lynch, who may be one of my favorite female wrestlers of all time.
Why is she bad?
I might be in love with her. She's a redhead Irish girl. Love her.
Strong Irish.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And Bianca.
What's her name?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. have to look her up.
And
I don't like anything with Lynch in it.
Right. Lynch.
Oh, see, that's the only reason I like her.
Bet, motherfucker.
That was a good match, Mike.
That
Very
match
good
was
match.
so. This is the only match that I think I texted Malcolm during. I'm like,
Well, she's
Uh-huh.
attractive.
Bianca Belair just hit a 450 splash off the middle fucking rope, not the top rope, the middle rope.
Badass.
Very
She
attractive,
is
man.
fucking incredible.
That's who I like the most right now, Mike. Like that's my favorite woman wrestler that's on the come up. Like
Yeah.
shining.
Becky Lynch.
No,
No.
Bianca. Becky's been doing her thing for like probably 2 years now.
Who'd you
And-
say Bianca what now?
Bianca
Bianca
Belair,
Belair.
the one with the braid, Cliff.
And Cliff, it's a black woman that I like. So I ain't talking shit.
Mark like Lynch.
I like Bianca, Megan Good, and Lynch. I like them all. But no, Mike, that was a really good match. I thought that was one of my favorite matches of WrestleMania this year, honestly.
And the fact that Bianca picked up the title.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
that was
interesting that she.
Yeah, she's kind of tall, Cliff. That's something I don't, she's kind of like she's built. She's kind of tall. But like
I mean,
She's strong as hell.
well, she's
Like, the
very
shit-
attractive.
The shit that she pulls
but I
off
wouldn't
is
want to
like-
cross.
I'm
Never mind.
surprised that you pick her.
I knew you was going to try to be surprised. That's why I said, yeah, I like her, Cliff. She's cool. She's married
I
to
can already
another
tell that her style would be more me in the wrestling.
Yeah, Cliff should go ahead and check it out. Monday nights is what she's on. She's on Monday.
I probably
Monday Night
wouldn't watch, but
Raw. Just a
I'm
little
just
peek.
judging off of the pictures that I see.
She is married, Cliff. Not that it matters. Well, it matters.
I'm not
In case you
saying
become a
that.
fan, in case you become a fan, and you're like, Mal, which actually, side note, Mike, they're coming here. SmackDown that is in June.
I know, and my son
Wants to go,
and he wants to go, and so it's actually on a Friday night. So maybe a pause from the
Oh,
podcast,
so.
but I'm thinking about it, and if we go,
Yeah.
we'll do it big. Like, it'll be floor seats. So
Ooh, let me become one of Mike's kids for the weekend. Shit. We find out, Mike. Damn, no, that'd be dope though. But no, I was just saying, like I said, that match was a really good match. Like I thought, I mean, through and through, they did a hell of a job.
well, and they did
That
a
is-
great job, like. And it's been a while since I've talked wrestling, but like the psychology of the match, because they were targeting one another, like specific joints, that kind of stuff. And like they just told a good story in the match. Like even if you hadn't watched all the build up or whatever, and you didn't know the history there that like Becky Lynch had knocked off Bianca Belair in 26 seconds or some bullshit when she came back, like it was a great way to tell that story. And that feels like the only match on the card outside of the main event that had the appropriate build up.
I agree. Now that you said that, like the other storylines didn't really wow me.
Yeah, they were all thrown together at the last minute. And I do think that part of the issue was like Bobby Lashley, like straight up got hurt. Like
He did.
At Elimination Chamber. He got put on the concussion list for a hot minute. And really, I thought, the women stole the show on the first night from just a match quality perspective. So Becky and Bianca, and then later on with Charlotte and Ronda. Now, I hated the finish to the Charlotte-Ronda match.
Me too.
But when I thought about it a little more, and the fact that Little Nate is the referee and all the shit that used to go down with him and Ric Flair back in the day, like, I kind of saw it, and it was okay. But, like, the finish itself, because all it ended up being was, like, Ronda took a kick to the face, and she was out cold. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Sounds like Ronda.
Ronda.
It sounds like Ronda.
No, just one kick to the face, and she's done.
You know what it is, Holly Holmes?
Oh.
Yeah, look it up.
Yep.
I believe it. But yeah, that ending was weak. Like when they
But
had,
Was that her being funny?
Maybe.
That might be her showing her sense of humor.
Her taking the kick to the face and getting knocked out.
That's how it was with Holly Holmes. One kick
Yeah.
to the face, she was out cold, starched, arms like this.
Maybe.
So that might have been her showing her sense of humor. I would if I was in that.
I think my biggest issue with that match wasn't because of that match. It was because of the finish to the main event between Brock and Roman, because they felt very similar.
yeah, that shit was stupid.
I don't know who Roman is, but you talking about Brock Lesnar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Roman is related to The Rock. He's one of the like Rikishi.
Oh, right.
Part of
The
that
whole the
Samoan
royal
dynasty.
family. Uh-huh.
They call him Cliff. They call him the head of the table of that family. He's the leader, the or whatever you want to say. He looks like
He kind of looks like Jason Momoa.
I was going to say, I'll give credit and credit's due. He's a way more handsome version of Jason Momoa. Lexus had him on her
A
birthday
more
cake.
handsome version of Jason Momoa.
Listen.
That's dangerous. That's a dangerous man right there. I ain't gonna-
Listen,
I have no problem admitting that's a dangerous man.
the wife, look him up, Cliff Roman. But the wife got him on her birthday cake like 2 years ago. Yeah.
That's
on
why-
her birthday cake.
Yeah.
That's when Malcolm started hitting the gym.
Right.
Yeah, he ain't hit that
Yeah.
motherfucker since. That motherfucker
No.
hit him hard because he ain't hit that motherfucker back since.
It did.
What's
Yeah.
the nigga name?
Roman Reigns. And Mike, what pisses me off, I texted you about this, and Cliff, you'll see what I'm talking about when you look him up. I get it, Vince.
I've seen him before.
Yeah, he played in Hobbs and Shaw for like 10 seconds, and then that other movie, Mike, on Netflix. What's it? Alexis loves it.
He's related to The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock, the Usos, who are wrestlers, are his cousins.
Mm-hmm.
If you, Mike, do you remember Rosie back in the day in wrestling? That was his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his older brother.
Yep.
But anyways, what pisses me off about Roman, like you said, Mike, is he doesn't have much to his game.
He has no game. Like, literally, all he hit in that entire main event match was the Superman punch and the spear.
Right,
Like,
that shit pisses
literally, he did nothing else in the entire fucking match, and that was enough to beat Brock fucking Lesnar. Get the fuck out of here.
Bullshit. And I mean, like I said, Cliff, you were able to see who I was talking about. He only gets so much push in wrestling just to give you a heads up because of his look.
Yeah,
Right.
Literally, it's not.
I
just
mean, he's
got,
marketable.
like,
I'll say that.
right.
He
It's
is.
exactly what Vince is doing. Vince
But he
is like,
doesn't. But he doesn't have like. That's
Skill.
one of the
But
biggest.
you got to
issues.
understand, Mike, as well. This goes back to the Will Smith conversation, everything. This generation of children don't know Brock for Brock. They don't know Brock was a UFC champion.
Yeah, they do.
Really,
they do.
I don't know. They may be able to look it up.
No, because I mean,
But
WWE talks about it every 5 seconds because it's like, no, this guy, yes, wrestling's fake, but this guy's legit. Like they bring that up constantly.
Right.
And they do the same with Bobby Lashley, even though Bobby Lashley didn't do well in combat sports. Like, one of the funniest fucking moments since I've started watching a little bit here and there was where Brock Lesnar gets in Bobby Lashley's face and is like, "You're just a ripoff of me."
Oh,
and
yeah, I remember that on Monday Night.
And Bobby Lashley tried to say like that Brock had been ducking him like while they were both in MMA and all this shit, and Brock was like, "Do you hear yourself? I was a world champion in the UFC.
Right.
You couldn't even cut it in the UFC." Like, and I was just like, damn.
Right. Some of that shit might be some actual.
No, that was some shoot shit. Like,
right. Some of that shit might be just for more than just ratings.
How many little niggas you think watch the WWE actually watch UFC as well?
I actually think there's a ton of crossover between the two. Now, maybe not as much to your point on the kids side,
Younger crowd,
because
right.
WWE has gone more of a family-friendly type vibe for a while now. But I would bet that there's crossover there.
The last wrestling pay-per-view I seen had tits involved. That's all I know.
No, I mean, I get it. That was the Attitude Era back in the day.
Bro, on panty matches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was ever involved in one of those.
Oh, I was every Monday and Thursday. And they would have them. Stacy Keebler.
Stacy Keebler. Oh my god.
Oh no. I was talking
Malcolm and I have the same taste.
Oh, you
in
meant
women,
like-
I'm talking about like
you
some
being
pay-per-view type shit.
Oh, no, that wasn't long. Now, that's a different type of pay-per-view.
Right.
That's that PPV.
Let's get this done. Send your request. So, Mike.
Cliff's
That's the
talking.
OF champion.
Mike, kind of funny short story. There's one of my friends. I'll just say that. who Cliff and I.
D'Angelo, don't.
No, it's okay because he would laugh. He would laugh at this. I think this person would laugh with us, obviously. But long story short, his little cousin, who's not so much little anymore, she has an OnlyFans, and I happen to come across it. Telling one of my best friends, who got a laugh out of it about the link in the cousin and what she had in her bio. Yeah. And he was like, wow, this doesn't surprise. I mean, she had like something about PPV. Me and Cliff and I, we were all like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't know. But she had all these details in there. That's where that came from.
That's funny.
But yeah, Mike, I mean, Roman, I get it. He's marketable.
Is
Mike
he
put that
though?
kind of
Because
thing
the
out.
fans have never responded to him.
They haven't, but the ladies love him.
And
the ladies love him.
Okay. But like the heat he gets is not, I hate you because you're making me hate you. It's like, I hate you because you're not good.
Yeah, but at the same time, and I watched this. There's on Peacock, which I know I kind of feel you, Cliff. There's so many damn streaming devices, I can't keep up with all these different apps. But on Peacock, Mike, under the WWE side of it, there's like a documentary called Evil.
Yep,
The best shows of all time. Have you watched any of it yet?
I haven't watched it yet, but it is something that I want to watch.
So I watched it, of course, because that stuff intrigues me.
Yeah.
And what Roman said is, Mike, is that he is himself, just more amplified. Like who you see is him, but just more amplified.
Yeah, but you know why he's saying that? Because that's what people said and what Rock and Stone Cold said about themselves in the Attitude Era. He is just copying what he thinks he needs to do.
Right.
And that's
you're right.
Where
That's what he's doing is the Attitude Era type stuff. You're right.
Kinda, and he's not doing it as well as they did. Like, and I'm sure that's direction from Vince. But like Brock Lesnar comes in and Brock is just Brock. Like, there's no acting there. The acting is when he lets Roman Reigns win a match.
Right.
Because Brock would fucking murder Roman Reigns.
Right.
Like,
right. You see he took the gloves off?
Yes.
Beginning of the match,
he took the gloves off to start the match.
Yeah.
And then he took him to Suplex City with like 5 fucking German suplexes just over his head.
He would murder. Yeah, I didn't like the way that ended. It didn't surprise me. I already anticipated it was going to end.
It was gonna
like
be
that.
It was gonna be interference and like other shit. Like, yeah. It's just,
that's their guy.
You're right.
You know?
I hate it from the standpoint that I called it, and where was it? There was a match that went down. Oh no. My call was when the commentator beat Austin Theory. I can't remember the commentator.
Pat McAfee, that former fucking kicker. Yeah.
So when Pat McAfee beat Austin Theory, I'm like, Roman Reigns is winning the title. This was your happy-go-lucky, feel-good moment because Roman Reigns is going to win the title and everybody's going to walk away from this pay-per-view pissed off.
Right. His face is everywhere. I mean, they force him on you.
Right.
The Roman Reigns is the Rock's cousin or family, who is also the heel of the.
He's the heel, and he's the now unified champion across both brands,
both belts on both shows, and he's considered the head of the table. Yeah, but
has that happened? How many times has that happened before?
So it's only
2 belts
on both shows.
I don't think
what's that SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
You still remember the shows? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's happened a couple times. Like Mike, you probably remember. Like I think Chris Jericho.
Jericho was the first, and that was the only legit one because at that point, they were unifying the WCW title, even though they were calling it the World Heavyweight title. But it was
I think I remember, yeah.
The WCW and WWE. And why that one was crazy was because he had to beat Rock and Stone Cold in the same night to win that title.
That's when wrestling was actually.
And like that was like no one thought Chris Jericho had a chance to do that.
Hell no.
Maybe I don't remember that.
They put both straps on him. I think that so kind of circling back to the pay-per-view itself, the other one, like Cody Rhodes coming over.
That was dope.
I watched his like talk on Monday night. I was like, all right, I can get behind this. Like Cody was
Dad and everybody.
Yeah, doing the whole like tribute to Dusty and all that, and the fact that he's coming over from AEW, which he helped found, was insane to me.
You know what they say, Mike? If you can't beat him, join him.
Right.
Vince is not no dummy. He knew what his competition was leading to. He's like, I got to bring you back home. I can't let you keep going against me.
Yeah,
I would do the same thing if I could, Mike. If you're,
that's what
that's
what WWE, WCW did in the day, and that's why WCW was the better company for a good portion of the '90s. Was that they stole all of WWE's talent, and they did crazy shit like, oh, we're gonna take your world title or your women's world title and throw it in the trash. Like,
right. They do off the wall shit.
Wait, do you mean vice versa?
No, WCW led the ratings with the NWO
for a long time.
Right.
All of
I
the
remember
90s.
that, and then WWE shitted on WCW.
No, they did, and WWE ended up buying out WCW. But like the reason why, actually, both sides. Like, WCW took the advantage by stealing WWE talent, and then WWE started doing the same thing, but they didn't go after the big names. They went after the young talent that was being buried, which is why guys like Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, even all his problems, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio came over to WWE. Although I think Rey Mysterio was after the acquisition, but... So him coming back, and then, of course... Night one wrapping up. The way you knew it was going to wrap up was Stone Cold beating Kevin Owens.
That was cool to see Stone Cold.
Stone Cold came back, and even though he looked old in like different pieces of that match, he came back. He got a stunner, and then the next night he stunned Vince. Although that stunner was awful because
did you see that? You see how he started laughing at Vince because Vince just
he did.
He had to like pick him up. Like, okay, you okay? All right, now I'm gonna do this move on you.
I also thought that the stunner on McAfee was fucking hilarious because I called that
was
one
funny.
too. I'm like, he's gonna share a beer with Pat McAfee, and then he's gonna stun the shit out of him, and it's going to make it Pat McAfee's like night of his life is getting stunned by Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, that would be that'd be a great moment in history. Yeah, can't trust Stone Cold. You know he's going to stun anybody in that ring.
Right.
Guard down.
The Texas rattlesnake.
Right, and that was cool how once it was in Texas. So obviously he got to perform.
Had to give the hometown crowd their thing.
I think
are you watching hot or cold, motherfucker?
Right.
Are you watching hot or cold? That's the question.
Are you washing hot or cold?
Huh?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I'm pondering.
Which one of y'all are watching? Are you watching hot or cold?
Watching what? What are you talking about?
Your clothes, motherfucker.
Cold.
Depends on what colors I'm washing.
Oh, see, y'all ain't no real Stone Cold fans.
Cold.
You ain't know he's with Tide Cold Wash.
No,
I did see that one.
He calls everybody.
I did see that.
I missed that.
Yeah, he's the Tide guy. He calls and asks you, you better switch the code.
I can see that.
There you go.
But
sorry for not catching that one, Cliff.
I was gonna say, Mike, like obviously, I know you and Cliff got to see this person more than I did growing up, but The Undertaker is Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean I think that really hit home.
They have a wrestling Hall of Fame?
Oh hell.
Oh yeah, there's a WWE Hall of Fame now, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he got inducted Cliff this year. The Undertaker did, that is.
He's got to be.
I
That's got to be
deserves it.
the first ballot. Yeah, because he was like
First.
Was he 21-0 at WrestleMania and then lost to
Or Brock Lesnar and Roman beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an impeccable career. I mean, he was always that. I don't know if you'll ever see a guy like that again, like that haunting, chill like factor, but you kind of like it though.
What they're trying to do, that's what they're trying to do with Edge right now with this new persona.
Hate that shit. Going back to Brood. Brood style.
I used to like Van Rail.
Gangrel, yep.
Gangrel. He said Gangrel.
Yeah, whatever his name was.
Gangrel. Which I didn't know that was really somebody else, I think, a different superstar. But yeah, Gangrel.
No, that dude had been like 3 or 4 different characters over his career.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only one I liked of him.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, he was good. But yeah, Edge is trying to bring that. I don't really.
Now, what was your take on the Edge AJ Styles match? Like, it went 20 some odd minutes, and I don't know. I expected more out of it, and they ground it. Like, I understood like what they were trying to do with it, but it was, dude, I was bored during that match, and I expected them to like steal the show.
I thought it was okay. Like, I didn't think it was terrible, but I definitely didn't think it was the best match of the night. I thought it was okay. Damian Priest shit. That pissed me off. You know, him appearing and then AJ losing. I'm tired of those kind of endings. Let me just say that. I'm tired of Vince doing that.
Like the interference shit, especially like WrestleMania is supposed to be the payoff of all that shit. Like, and it just
you're ripping people off,
right?
You know, and the viewers, you know.
Well, and the only time that I thought it was acceptable was when, like, Rock, Stone Cold, Vince, like those matches, it was okay to like see them turn on Vince or Vince turn or whatever.
Right.
But like outside of those, yeah, ending with an interference at WrestleMania, I'm just like, come on. Now I feel like I'm being ripped off. Like, I expect that stuff on Raw and SmackDown, but when we get to WrestleMania, it's supposed to be like, here's the payoff for the story. Speaking of payoffs, Bobby Lashley versus Omos, I thought was going to be a good match, and it was fucking awful. And
I knew it was going to be awful.
And the spear that Lashley hit on Omos to finish the match
from the
awful.
behind.
Was awful, both of them.
That was terrible.
Like, what the fuck were they doing? And the thing is Omos, like, it would have been forgiven if Omos wins that match because you can bill him as the new Giant. But then he loses to fucking Bobby Lashley. Like, I don't know. I don't buy MVP. Bobby Lashley. Yeah.
No, an MVP turned on Bobby Lashley. You seen that?
Yeah.
He turned. It's like,
terrible.
Yeah. I wasn't too. As much as it was hyped up, and then the fact that they kept saying like that the main event, Roman and Brock, was the greatest match of all time in WWE history. Like, bullshit.
Well, no, and then they finish it with fucking outside interference and with
like,
a cheap, like a foreign object, like it. And
yeah.
it ended with a weak ass spear. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. I mean, did Andrew like it? What did Andrew think?
Do the writers get credit?
Not necessarily.
Do they run credits at the end of the show and give the writers?
They don't, but I mean, here's the thing: is that it is what I will say is much more scripted than when we used to watch. Like, they used to let guys just kind of go off and riff, and now it's very much like pre-scripted and all this shit.
Because you can't say shit no more.
And Malk, to your point or to your question, yeah, he loved it. He only got to watch like 2 or 3 matches, so he watched night 1. He wasn't with me for night 2, so I owe him a rewatch of some of that. The last match that we could talk about, since we've already hit on Brock and Roman and the fact that Roman won that in bullshit fashion. Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn.
Oh.
They fought.
That was funny. Yeah, Cliff. Johnny Knoxville had a WrestleMania moment with plenty of pranks. Plenty of pranks. That was kind of funny.
B-Man came out and fucking body slammed somebody.
What? Man, Cliff body slammed a wrestler, Sami Zayn.
What's that about?
They just had his. Well, if you think about it, and Mike, I don't know if you agree. They knew Johnny Knoxville is not obviously a wrestler. He's not going to beat a wrestler in a straight up wrestling match. So they made it a no disqualification match. Therefore, there was like his crew, jackass crew in there.
Okay.
Lots of pranks, lots of interference stuff to make it an entertaining match. Therefore,
and it was fucking hilarious. Like
it was
Well, Wee
hilarious.
Man held Shaq up in the first Jackass
Did he?
movie.
there you go. Well, he
piggybacked Shaq in the first Jackass movie.
That's funny.
God damn, Wee Man strongest. He's stronger than I guess I imagined.
But they did all sorts of shenanigans in the match. Like
Remember I
They
said
did.
why I don't like midgets.
Why'd you say that? I guess I don't remember.
I got punked. That's what happened. I got punked at a Ohio State Fair by a midget.
Wait,
And I was
you
probably-
got punked?
Did he say you two were the
Yeah.
same size?
I was probably only like 9 or 10 years old when it happened.
I don't know why I think that's hilarious, but I'm loving
But I
this. Go
did.
ahead.
I got punked.
How'd you get punked?
Can you give
I
the
knew-
context? Yeah, can you give the
I
context?
knew enough to swing back. I was scared to swing back. Well, he didn't swing at me. We were in the bathroom and we were leaving the bathroom. I can't remember what happened, but he jumped at me real aggressive. Like I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it to begin with.
Were
He
you
wasn't
staring or
ready.
something?
Huh?
Were you staring at him or something?
Listen, I don't know what it was. I couldn't have thought it was no different. We was both the same size.
That moment you weren't.
That's
That
funny.
moment you were a little bit smaller.
But yeah, nah. I don't know. I don't know what happened, to be honest. But it was. He made me feel a certain kind of way. is all I can say.
Punked out by a midget. Life of a Raiders fan.
Mm-hmm. It's all
Well,
right.
Well, hey.
But that match did have some just funny bits in it. Like
It did. It did.
Sami Zayn going to the top rope and him setting off the pyro on the post of the rope was great. Although the timing was slightly off. That was the thing that made that match not as good as it could have been. There were 2 or 3 instances where the timing was just off. Like, and then the finish of the match with like the giant mouse trap or whatever, where it caught him in the shoulder before it snapped down on Sami Zayn. It was like, okay, fine. But like
I didn't even catch that.
the boot. Well, and the thing is in the replay, it didn't look as bad as it did real time because I think they did something. They cut a second or half a second or whatever, or they changed camera angles or something. The boot with like the crank that made it kick him in the nuts. That was funny.
Yeah.
And then the best though, and the one that had the best timing because you didn't see it coming because of the way they were the camera angle, is when Sami Zayn's running around the ring and that giant hand comes out of nowhere and fucking flattens him.
Yeah, that was funny as fuck.
Boom.
I'm like, they set all that shit up like that.
Oh,
That was a funny match.
it was a good time, and it was needed at that point to kind of lighten
Yeah.
shit up
Break up some monotony.
after that almost match, which was ugh.
That was god awful. I expected more out of some of that. Yeah, overall, it just wasn't a great pay per view.
No, and like they didn't give. I mean the tag team match towards the end with New Day and
Sasha Banks. Oh,
well that one too, but like the men's tag team match, New Day versus what was it, Sheamus and company.
Sheamus and yeah,
That match was like 5 minutes long, so you didn't give
Right.
them any opportunity. The women's match was decent. It was hard to give enough of them time to shine in that. I almost wish that
Right.
it had just been like a one team versus one team instead of a 4-way tag team.
Oh, that's right. It was. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
but Sasha won that one, right?
She did. Her and Naomi. That's my girl. So
Yeah.
Roman's the wife's man, and Sasha's been my girl. It's kind of how we are.
Sasha Banks, the bank statement.
I love her, Mike. I don't know what it is, but I mean, she's
That's not the one with the ass, is it?
No, she's petite. But she's just to me she's just real pretty.
Well, inside she is very.
Oh, that's
pretty.
a light skinned girl.
Yes,
She's like I think she's like to me she's like half Spanish, half black. Cause Snoop
She
Dogg's
might be.
She wears the wigs.
She does well. I don't know if it's
Yeah, the red hair and the shit.
yeah.
Yeah, them is
yeah.
weak.
He said them is weak.
No, I didn't say weak. I said them is wigs.
Wigs.
Oh, I thought you said them is weak. I was like, damn.
Well, and she's also
They weak as well, though. But
I'm also a fan because what other show? Is
Mandalorian.
She's in the
Mike,
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Yes,
She's a
I was thinking of
that. So
is she
I
a
need to
real
watch that.
person, or do they got her in some prosthetics?
she's a person, but she's in like the Mandalorian armor.
Oh god.
I wonder if she'll be.
What
in
color is
season
her
3.
hair?
Look her up, Cliff. She changes it all the time.
Right.
Look her up.
On Mandalorian.
Black. It's just
Oh.
black. And
Black.
she's got the helmet on
Okay.
most of the time, so.
Okay.
But she'll probably be in season 3 of Mandalorian because I think that's all going to take place on Mandalore. So,
Right.
all right. Well, that
Right,
wraps
you don't
up.
know shit about nothing. Let's see, what episode you ever watched The Mandalorian? You writing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I watched the first episode with Alexis when it first came out, but I never got past it. I'm not a
Okay.
Star Wars fan, but I
I
watched it.
like
for that,
Star Wars.
I watched it for that reason. That Sasha Banks is in it. That's why
Yeah,
I'm trying to-
I get that.
You said we're wrapping up, Mike. We covered all the topics.
Yeah, those were the two big ones. I mean, we talked a little bit about the entertainment front. Cliff, being the angry old man, get off my lawn.
Right, man.
I always listen. The kids, let the kids live. The entertainment
now.
industry been around for a long time.
That's true. This is very true.
So, anybody else got anything to close us out? Any other Cliff? You got anything that you've been brewing on while Malk and I have been geeking out on wrestling?
Right, Cliff. What you been conjuring?
You wanna be where you can see the troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Live performance at the end of the show, Mike. How lucky are we by our own Clifford?
What's funny is Cliff had Aaron sample that and did a song to it, and it's one of the few songs that I've never been able to find what the fuck happened to it.
Oh, this is a real live song.
Yeah, that's the Cheers theme.
That's the
Mal,
cheers.
for you.
Yeah.
This young buck.
Hey, learn something new. I thought Cliff came up with that on his own. I said, okay. That's what you was conjuring up the whole time. Okay.
That's what he got.
Right.
All right, Mal,
One
you got
second.
anything to take us out?
I just appreciate y'all having me, man. Appreciate y'all letting me come back and chat it up with y'all.
Appreciate you jumping on. It's been a while since I've talked wrestling with anybody, so
Oh yeah.
it's good
you
to
know, I
talk that.
Probably will be another while.
Probably
till you do.
we'll bring you back next WrestleMania, Mal,
Right.
to cover WrestleMania 39.
Hey, I'd be more than happy. Be my pleasure.
They had 39 of them motherfuckers.
38.
it's been around
This is
a
39
while.
coming up.
Been around a while.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cliff, anything else?
love everybody.
Love everybody. Do us a
Love
favor.
everybody.
Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You got Hit the Showers coming tomorrow. And as always, you can find us every Friday night here on Do Fools Agree. Appreciate the time. Check out Foolproof Entertainment Network on Facebook and most major social media platforms. And with that, peace out, fools.
Peace out.